Getting our Oklahoma rundown from Jason Ray. Last word on college football. We're running through the offense. We've already posted quarterbacks, running backs, and wide receivers and asked that you'd check out the videos. It's a great rundown on Oklahoma's 3-star positions and get you set there. We've talked offensive line. Now we move on to the tight ends as a complement, obviously, in the passing game to the wide receivers, in the run game to the offensive line. So no losses at tight end, just looking for guys to step up and improve.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, from a loss perspective, they did lose Jalen Conyers, but he never saw the field as a freshman. So, almost don't really count that as a loss. Austin Stogner is going to be your starter, certainly at the tight end, and they call it kind of the H position at Oklahoma, but it's the prototypical tight end. He'll be flexed out as a wide receiver from time to time. Then he'll certainly have his hand in the ground as a prototypical tight end. Had a really good season last year. Had some injury situations towards the end of the year. Came back in the Cotton Bowl against Florida. One of the things that he'll have to improve on a little bit is his hands catching the ball in traffic. He struggled at times. He would make more of a difficult catch than the easy catch. He would drop from time to time. So, but he's got the size, and he's got what you would look for in a tight end: 6'6", over 240, 250 range. So he'll be your starter. Braden Willis will be the backup. He played quite a bit when Austin Stogner was out with an injury. He's kind of an in-betweener, more of a wide receiver body than a tight end. So Austin Stogner is probably the better blocker. Braden Willis and Stogner probably even from an ability to catch the ball. And I think one of the things that's very interesting, as we had talked through, the running backs, we had talked about Mikey Henderson, who is a guy that, Oklahoma fans just love. Anytime you talk about running backs, they put him in there. Anytime you talk about wide receivers, they put him in there. So it'll be interesting to see how Riley uses him a little bit. I would see that him being more of kind of a Swiss Army knife. He has the opportunity to play running back from time to time. Probably doesn't have the speed and elusiveness as a Kennedy Brooks or an Eric Gray that would have, but a good change of pace. You also think that he could be played as a tight end. He's a fullback as well. So I would see, just with the lack of depth, Oklahoma only has really 2 tight ends that have played a lot. So I would see Mikey Henderson playing maybe a little bit at the tight end position from time to time, being flexed out wide, in a lot of different spots for Oklahoma to be successful this year.
Mikey Henderson only with 21 touches last year. So what's the fascination? Is it built on reputation coming out of high school, or just the flash that he's shown on the field for the season?
Yeah, I think it's just the flash that he's shown on the field. He's carried the ball a few times, not a whole lot, but I think the catches that he made out of the backfield, his ability to do a lot of different things, in the running game, as a fullback, as a blocker, catching the ball out of the backfield, has some good moves in the open field. So I think that's the allure with Henderson, is just what he can possibly do. He was a 4-star athlete out of high school, so he was very highly recruited. But I think the thought here is just what all he can do on the offensive side of the ball and his potential.
Stogner, 26 catches, 422 yards, excellent yards per catch average for a tight end at 16.2 and 3 touchdowns. And then again, Willis, 9 catches and a touchdown. Jason Ray, last word on college football. So the Groupon over there, they are certainly getting us all set for college football. Spring camp starting across the country. A number of teams are already in play. Oklahoma probably somewhere in the mid to late March range. So check out Jason's work on Last Word on college football. Jason will tackle the defense coming up next.
All right, sounds good, Mark. I appreciate you having me on.